Hello, hi there, lovely Leos. Do welcome to your love horoscope for 2017. My name is Bella. Welcome to my channel, and most people know me as Bella the Secret Psychic. And this is your sort of general, I say sort of because I've got a lot to fill in for you guys for November. That it's a bit like that, guys. But how I work is I work with the help of my spirit guides. So it's kind of me translating what things or messages they want you to know to be considering when it comes to your love life during the month of November. But before I continue to do that, which I will crack on with really soon, just wanted to answer some questions that people that had sent to me in terms of my services, my personal services. They're basically all in the links just down below. You can either get services through my website, which is either mini videos readings, which start from about $6.99, all the way to sort of longer Skype calls, but nothing's more sort of than 100 sort of dollars, pounds, in terms of my services. Or you can join me on my Instago chat app if you just want to sort of have a very quick bite-sized kind of question where I answer you. That starts also from $4.99, but all the links are just down below. Or perhaps you want to join me on my Facebook page, where every day, Monday to Friday, I join everybody there live to kind of give some wisdom and some guidance on the themes for today in terms of what you need to consider. Sorry, losing my voice already. So this is live. I only do this in one take because I never know what my guides sort of, I do know because I consulted them a little bit before I came on, and I'm glad I did because it's like you have to bear with me because there's so many elements that are coming up that will mean different things depending on the setup that you're in. So bear with me. Right, guys, are you ready? Like it starts well, I have to say, and then things nosedive quite considerably. Now, I kind of want to put in there that for some of you, there will be some nosediving that will feel unpleasant for you. For some of you, it's actually happening to the other person, or they're doing something that is happening that actually will benefit you, but it won't feel like it at the time because it feels like you get dragged in to the situation because of them sorting out something, and I'll explain more why. And this is why you kind of need to concentrate on this one, guys, because it depends on your connection. And I have to say, because it's so complicated, I have to focus on two types of connections with this, because otherwise it's going to get extremely confusing. So if you're in an established connection, like you're in a relationship with somebody, this is where you need to pay attention. If you are in a connection where actually hasn't quite kicked off, or it's an ex who's kind of supposed to come back, or you've been talking about coming back, or it's somebody that you're kind of, let's say, waiting on making the relationship happen, this is where there's a two dividing lines in terms of what the things my guides are bringing up. They're saying basically this. Let's start with the good news. To start off in the first week, which I think sort of happens and starts to begin at the end of October anyways, there's a lot of good news coming your way in terms of things in your connection going positive. You know, your ex being much more receptive to things, moving things forward. You know, there's a lot of hope there. I get people sort of revealing their true love feelings for you. I get you feeling really happy and abundant. I feel like you want to fly. Like it's like, yes. And that's been some of the brilliant positive benefit energy from last month as we go into this month. And, you know, for a small amount of you, where you're in those two type of connections I just talked about, and probably this is the only where it will apply when you're single, because actually none of what I'm saying will apply to you, because actually you won't be in a relationship for this to affect you. But for a small number, you'll just ride on that and it will be fine and you'll be happy. I have to say here, like when you get to the second, or it could happen also in the third week, there's a massive thump right down to earth. So just for time wise, the kind of first week that I'm talking about is like the week of the 5th, I think, of November, from there on. Now the second or third week is pretty much where it goes from, oh my God, this person's finally told me they love me, to, oh my God, that my ex is back and is doing the right thing, to, oh my God, my relationship with my husband or my boyfriend is really amazing right now. We're making plans. Maybe perhaps we've got engaged. It's feeling fantasy dozy. It could also be as well that actually you in yourself, because my guys are saying some of you it's not even that, because remember there is an element in this reading where actually it's because somebody else is doing something. Because so my guys are saying here it's some of you are waiting on you're part of a third, a three-party situation, basically. They're saying you're waiting on the other person, like the person you're seeing, and they're putting you almost as the person that is the third party, that you're waiting for the other person to do the right thing or to leave the other person. So I hope you're still with me. It's complicated. So, right, the second week, if you're in a connection or you're just got back with somebody, or perhaps somebody's revealed your feelings, it completely changes night and day as you get to the second or third week, to the point where you feel like you're being a bit foolish, or that somebody has fooled you into believing that they were going to move something along, going to take something somewhere. So i.e. your ex said they're back, they did everything right, and then the third week they suddenly changed their minds. Same with someone revealing their feelings for you, like, oh great, they shared their feelings now we can make something of it, and then suddenly they just change their mind. This could also be that actually they shared their feelings with you, and again with this whole third party thing, shared their feelings, who told you that they want to have something with you, they're going to leave their wife or their husband or whatever it is, and then second, third week they change their minds. And you're like blindsided by this. I mean, the only time you won't be blindsided by this is the fact that you've seen this reading, and you're be a bit prepared for it, is what I want to say. Or if not paranoid. I can't help this. This is what my guides are telling me. And I get here that this other person is not wanting, and I think this definitely applies, that what I'm talking about definitely applies if it's an ex or perhaps somebody revealing their feelings. I'll get to the other points in a minute. I get from their point of view, they don't even want to explain themselves. They're like, I've just changed my mind, that's it. And you're just like, You've just basically given me all this false hope, made me feel wonderful, only then to make me feel like I'm a fool, or like you just get like really, I'm sorry guys, you feel really, really disappointed, and it's suddenly, just as it's starting or getting back together, it seems like it snapped again. And I get here that it does. Take care of yourselves during this time, because the way it's coming across is it will obviously emotionally make you feel a certain way. But I have to stress, my dears, this is not you. This is them, 100%. Try not to take it like it's about you. Please put the energy where it's supposed to be, because who does that? Somebody who's completely imbalanced and somebody who is actually really not good for you. So I would say to you really, really strongly, yes, take yourself a moment to be upset about it, but then give it back to them. You are better off, I would say, without that kind of person messing you around. And that's probably why some of you might realise that an ex is an ex for a reason, if you understand what I mean. At least my guys are saying it will give you closure, and it will also open your eyes into what it is that they are. Right, let's backtrack a little bit, because that's why this is complicated, because it plays out slightly different ways depending on the type of connection you have. So if you are in a marriage or a partnership, and it's a good one, there is some disruption in your connection, but it's not probably half as dire as the one I've just talked about. I just get here, yes, there is something again that you feel foolish about. There is something that does need to end in terms of behaviours and attitudes, or for some of you it will be arguments, but which seem to perhaps creep back in, let's say in that second or third week, after having such a really good time. I get some of you, it's settling and arguments around money and things like that. I get here that for some of you, it just feels like it's a bit of an emotional time, or that you might feel that they are deceiving you about something. And this could be something as serious as another relationship, but also something as minor as actually they're deceiving you about how much money they spent or didn't spend, or whether they paid bills or didn't pay bills. It's like things like that. It feels to me that you will find out something in the second or third week that you didn't know about, and it causes that happy bubble to burst, and for you and the other person to confront that, to resolve it, basically. But I don't get an ending quite like I see with the one I just spoken about. I'll come back to that, because my guides just gave me something else, but that's that for now. let's backtrack now again to another type of connection. So if you are in a connection where so this is like estranged relationships where actually you've been waiting for somebody for months and actually you've not had any communication, but you've been hoping and waiting, feeling like you have, feeling like you've had unfinished business and it's been dragging on, or perhaps you've had little bits of hope but it's never quite spun off a little bit. Now this is in particular if you're the third party in this connection, i.e. they are with somebody else and that's the reason why they're not with you. This is where it's good news for you guys, because they're saying actually it is in that connection that the person does the breaking, the leaving, the everything. Basically, they start to actually put things in action. There is emotional upheaval. And some of you, unfortunately, you may get found out as being part of that, whether you've been in the thing or not. But that's when the energy is with them and not with you, and it does benefit you. Do you get me? So, for example, if you've been waiting for somebody for 6 months, a year, let's say 2 months, but you're the third party in this triangle, and they're with somebody else, they then finally now do the right thing. They leave, and I would say as you go through the end of this month, but probably more December, you've got your guy, you've got your girl, basically. The one that you've been the third party about. So it feels like there's somebody else is leaving somebody else to be with you, basically, or somebody else is finally doing the right thing to follow their higher selves because actually the relationship that we're in wasn't good for them, so on and so forth. That's how it's coming across. But they do surprise the other person, so that whole surprise element or that deceitfulness lies the opposite way round. So do you get me? Oh my goodness, you guys are making it hard for me this month. Right. So as you get to the end of it, obviously the ones that I spoke about first, where an ex has come back, or perhaps somebody suddenly revealed something to you after waiting a while, but they suddenly like you, and then they suddenly change their mind and don't offer anything. You will move on. You will be forward. You are stronger. You'll start to realise they were better off without you. If you're in a relationship, marriage, partnership, which is well established, you can resolve it. I feel like because there was something quite deceitful. So let's say, for example, if it was the extreme end where actually you did find out that they were dating somebody else, you can resolve that to a degree, but you'll always have this paranoia particularly initially. And I do get a sense of some of you, because of the deceit, whether it's big or small, will still carry some of that worry about whether there will be deceit. And again, be a small part of you that you may decide also to end the relationship. But mostly I'm getting you don't. And mostly I'm getting it's not that extreme. It's like a thing that is revealed that you didn't know about. Do you see what I mean? And for those of you who, oh gosh, I've lost my train of thought. But for those of you who was basically sort of in that you're the third party, basically, it ends out well for you. I think the only question to answer as well, no, I don't think it just ends well. So I'm going to leave it ends well, and we can see what happens in December. But yeah, that was hard work, guys. That was deep. So I hope that's made sense, and you might have to watch this twice just to kind of untangle some of the things and how that may fit in relation to your circumstances, if you didn't get it the first time. But I would say here there is definitely some foundations being changed in places, some to your benefit, and some, well, it's still to your benefit, even if it turns out to be the miserable way that I just said, because at the end of the day, you don't get to waste your time with a fool, basically, do you? So you'll win out in the end. So I hope that's helped, guys. You all have an amazing November. Again, if you'd like to know more about me and my services, please just look down at links below, and I'll see you again next month. Take care.